Red alert! Set an intention. Go to Salon tracker.
Captain's log supplemental. Commander Chakotay was injured. But I want you to know, you can use logic to justify almost anything. Janeway out.
Ahoy hoy, friends. I'm Stan Williams, your host for the Salon, and I've been in suspended animation since 1937. Animation that'll never take on. Tonight, we will be discussing Star Trek Voyager Season 2. Exciting from the Delta Quadrant. And in order to do that, I got to bring the rest of my crew out of do nothing. No, I'm going to bring them out of suspended animation and get into it. Trevor, what twisted drinks are you brewing up today?
Whatever it is, it bubbles and it occasionally puts me into suspended animation.
Speaking of bubbles, here's Krista. How are you?
Hi, I'm bubbling.
Speaking of bubbling, here's Will. Will, how are you?
I'm okay. IBS, bubbling. Anyway. I don't know.
And the root cause of everyone's IBS. Here's Matt. How you do?
It's so good to be here. And a medical condition.
You guys get excited. Tonight we are talking about Season 2 of Star Trek Voyager. Continuing our Thumb War series, we will be discussing the first half. And as you all know, this is the only scientific way to accurately rate episodes of television. Trevor will do us a favor of reading a poorly worded but not self-written synopsis of the episode, and then we will vote with our thumbs up, down, or sideways. For those in the chat, you will be our tiebreakers if we won't have one tonight because there's only 5 of us. I can count. But if somehow, if we get like one sideways and 2 up and 2 down, I suppose, because there are 3 options. Anyway, sound off in the chat when you're ready. But before we can even do this, Trevor has to say something, and then we're going to do something else.
Should we do the podcast things?
We should do the podcast things. As you know, this is a podcast. We are
That's spelled P-O-D.
Like and subscribe.
At Salon Trek everywhere except Instagram. That's at the Salon Trek. And we have some fun bonus episodes happening over on Patreon. At the $5 level, you get access to those. For $2, you get added to our end credits and lots of other fun benefits in the works. You let us know. What would you like to see? What would you like to happen? What would you like us to do? And for different amounts of money, we will do it.
I just bet we're going to be very drunk by June.
Yeah.
Sustained.
I might be drunk right now.
I might have had a mushroom gummy.
This is going to be a good episode. I can feel it.
Just in time for Twisted.
Right.
But before we get twisted,
Uh-oh.
don't get it twisted. We have to set an intention.
This is obvious, but don't forget to set an intention when you light it, or you're just going to be wasting the wax.
Indeed, we must. To set an intention tonight, I thought it would be fun, in honor of Catherine Janeway encountering Amelia Earhart in the 37's season premiere. I thought it would be fun if we went around the room and shared what other historical figure we would have preferred Catherine Janeway to encounter instead of Amelia. So sorry, Amelia, you're pulled out of this episode and we're plopping someone else in. As always, I will start us off by sharing that I thought it would be great if Catherine Janeway had actually encountered Kate Mulgrew. I would just like
Ryan's Hope years during
the
Ryan's Hope years. When
I I would just like her to encounter a fantastic actress with a lovely voice, and sort of leak that perhaps Kate Mulgrew disappears at some point. What happened? What did I miss? Wait,
I'm in the Celestial Temple.
In the Celestial Temple. Oh.
She's visiting the Cisco.
So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Let's go around the room. Mateo, what say you? Who is Janeway running into in the 37s instead of Amelia?
You know, it's not going to go back as far, but there is a very famous, and this popped up, and I just think it would be hilarious. A very famous British drag queen, like, isn't it? I believe it's Dame Edna.
Dame Edna.
Yeah. I think that would be a perfect, like, give us a fun, campy, like, something just absolutely irreverent and, like, just funny to start it off with, but also have her with other, like, the same premise where you have, like, Dame Edna is the first one, but then you also have, like, Ronald Reagan and, like, or something like some, like, ridiculous
or different drag queens from around the world,
or different, and during different time
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Or Christy Nome's husband.
Or Throat Goat Nancy.
Throat Goat Nancy. I think these are all, I just think it would be a fun, like little twist.
But enough about my nickname in college. Will.
Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan.
She's every woman. Why not?
Why not? I don't know. Historical figure. I mean, it would be cool to get like someone from like the modern era, from that era would be interesting. But like historical figure, I don't know, like something crazy like Madonna or some shit. Like she got abducted. Like that would be hilarious to me.
You could teach them all.
Exactly. Yeah, and she's like, no, she lands the ship by just doing like those like jumps, those jump. Yeah, something. Yeah, the cone bra phasers.
15 deep, like, 15 deep knee beds. I like it.
Yeah.
Krista.
I went with a literary historical figure because I think you're gonna like it though.
Nerd.
So rude. You know,
James Patterson.
I want them to replace Melania. I want them to replace Dickens and the Bronte sisters with Anais Nin, because I think these women need erotica like today, like yesterday. Like these women on this, it's like just go full Anais Nin. My second choice is Barbara Stanwyck, because I would like for there to be on the bridge a full Stanwyck Mulgrew motherfucking walk off. The way she stomps across the bridge, the entire 13 episodes so far, she starts from one to the other.
She's got a fierce stomp.
I want to she's giving Barbara Stanwyck in.
Yeah, I don't fully get these references, but from context clues, I can say that if this were to happen, Janeway would have better Hollow novels, and
that's what I'm saying.
Would have a better reason to have that knife.
Wrote a lot of erotica. She was like shocking. Shocked people. She didn't disappear.
Krista, you could go full just like Sappho of Lesbos, like go all the way back to the beginning and just give them a lot of like.
We could like, I mean, if this is an easier reference, how about Anne Rice and the Beauty series? Mm-hmm. We'll have those on the hollows instead.
And Mark Twain.
I'm just saying this. The first 13 episodes struck me as particularly double entendre, sexual innuendo all over the place. Maybe that's just where my head's at. No apologies, no shame, but
or maybe she runs into Jerry Ryan.
But also Joel in the chat coming in with Genevieve Bujold. Like That would be kind of hilarious.
But her response is, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
Daniel.
I would replace Amelia Earhart with Mr. Frank Capra, who won the Best Director Oscar in 1937 and will then be whisked away. And yes, this does mean that we will not get, at least directed by Frank Capra, It's a Wonderful Life or Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which will have the domino effect of getting rid of Cory Booker's empty shirt Mr. Smith impression, bought and paid for by Big Pharma, waste of space, nonsense. You know what we need ICE to do? Wear body cameras. I'm getting a little too real for this, but
I need one of those mushroom gummies.
You put a lot of thought into it.
Krista, could you hand me one of those, please?
Yeah,
Frank.
Just drop it down.
Just drop it down. Drop it down. I'll catch it.
But what a wonderful intention setter, Trevor. The intentions are set too hard in some ways, just hard enough in others, which is why we're gonna have a thumb war.
Joey.
Yes, no.
Oh.
But I'm only 2.
Judy Bloom, are you there, God? It's me. Yep, that wins.
Give that girl some Korean panty liners.
Oh, God.
Hey,
It's so
Trevor,
good.
take us to war, please.
I would be happy
Flowers
to.
in the attic.
I
To
think
war or to warp?
both, maybe. I'm going to warp us to war. I don't know what's happening. Voyager Season 2, Episode 1, The 37s. The Voyager, I hate when they do that. The Voyager lands on a planet where an old Earth aircraft contains people in cryogenic units, including Amelia Earhart. Dun, dun, dun. William, kick us off, please. Help us.
Yeah. Girl, what the fuck was this episode? This was like a bunch. It's like they had a hat, and then they picked a bunch of things out of the hat, and they're like, Amelia Earhart, alien abductions, landing the ship. Like this, and we're gonna put an episode.
Wait, what did they do with the ship?
They landed the ship. It's just, it's hokey. It's weird. It's like, the fuck is this? It's like this is like if Voyager was like in season like 13 and they were like running out of plot lines. I was like, baby, you're on. It doesn't make any sense. Like, and also the fucking truck looks so fake. Like, yes, it's the 90s, but like, it looked like a sticker they put on the screen. Like, it didn't look like something floating in space. It looked like a sticker. And I didn't particularly like any of the performances in it. The stuff with Tom with the car is kind of funny, but like, it would make, again, this is just another example of like this could have taken place in, this could have been a TNG episode and it would have worked. It's boot sideways.
How dare you? This is a great episode. No, I'm kidding. I do like the episode though, but that is a good jumping off point for me to say my problem with this episode is it's not fair, but it's the first example of shit from the Alpha Quadrant just randomly showing up, like them forgetting their premise, and that aspect does bother me. If this had been one of the only times that happened, like, oh, how interesting, how insane that they ran into these people, but whatever. I did like, for a first episode of season 2, this sort of reestablishes our desire to get home. They have this opportunity to build a new home. Oh, look, they happen to be human. So like we have every reason to stay, but they choose to continue on in their journey. And that's why I like the episode. But I agree that it's not executed as well as it could have been.
I I don't believe that Amelia Earhart would not take the opportunity to get on a spaceship
Also that.
and fly around. I mean, are you
They should have killed her.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The other people had reason to stay. Like her explorer attitude, like it. I mean, she was. Homegirl was in like NYPD Blue or something, right? Like she was
in NYPD Blue. She played
like she had her own full-time gig going on. So like obviously this super famous guest star that we're pulling in to help build up our new network. Still, it's only season 2 for UPN.
Sipowitz's wife. That was
yes.
Was.
So like
Mrs.
she's clearly not going to stay, and also like narratively taking a historical person like Amelia Earhart and being like, she's going to be with the ship through the Delta Quadrant and wonder what she thinks about the Borg.
I have very mixed feelings about this episode. First, I loved the fact that they what did Janeway do?
Landed this ship.
That was amazing.
It keeps getting ricketer and ricketer every time I have to do it.
So both your impression and the fact that it occurred were amazing. There were. Oh wait, no, sorry, I get confused. So I love that happened. I kind of love that when you kidnap humans from 1937 and deposit them on a planet and let them reproduce until the point where they've built a new civilization in the 2400 or 2300s, that somehow they're all just wearing BDSM leather gear. Like,
yeah,
that was fun and weird. And like, why did they have helmets on? It was strange. Anyway, so that was exciting for the faces.
For the faces.
I will never forgive them for making Tuvok look like a buffoon during the backfire scene. And I'm not talking about drawing the phaser. I'm talking about drawing the phaser and then looking around the room like, where did that come from?
Right.
It's clearly the 20th century vehicle that's sitting in front of like, why is he looking up on the, like, it's just dumb. So that was obnoxious. Also, the introduction of, it's sort of like the reverse Spock. When Spock is on Earth in the past, they have to make him wear a beanie. So for Kes, they just brush her hair forward. They're like, look, her ears are gone. Like, that was super strange. The idea that they encountered an historic figure, I thought was fun, that they picked Amelia Earhart. It took balls to pick somebody whose mystery we might actually solve during the lifetime of the people who are watching this show. But it just kind of fell flat for me that that's who they picked. Like, and also why, granted you needed someone who disappeared, and I guess it all ties together, but it felt a little cliche that was someone who Catherine Janeway herself was such an admirer of, perhaps a famous scientist, perhaps a not so famous scientist that she was just particularly fond of because she read a book about this person. I don't know. Yeah. It just, for those reasons, it fell a little flat. So it's probably going to land in the sideways territory for me, but it's all over the place in my opinion. And it's weird that this wasn't ever intended to be the premiere, that this was originally going to be part of season 1 is super strange. But anyway, I'll stop rambling.
I have so many thoughts on this that I really need to, like, there's two main things.
Don't hold it in. That shit'll kill you.
I know, right? That's why I talk so much. One, the whole scene with the car in the shuttle bay, I'm like, A, how's that oil working? B, ain't one of them lived in a society where you are fearful of projectile noises like that. Like they've had phasers. Like you're not gonna like think of it as a gunshot. Like that's just, I mean, we do because, but they're not gonna have that reaction. Also, Janeway not knowing Morse code immediately, like I still guarantee that they're teaching Morse code at Starfleet Academy. If all else fails, you can still hold a flashlight out of a window and like communicate with another ship. So that always bothered me. However, I will say, I still think this is like one of the most fun Voyager episodes because you don't have to think that hard. Like you just kind of go along with it. You accept the ridiculousness of the fact that it's Amelia Earhart. And you're just like, sure, of course it's Amelia Earhart was abducted by aliens. Like, yeah, sure. Of course, like the one thing and I will say, she does point out when they like pull Kessa's hair back. She's like, "Yeah, I've been a lot of really weird places and seen a lot of really weird things happen to people's bodies. Like, this doesn't convince me."
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it does come around. I do think that they should have had Amelia. Something happens, you know, they're taking off. She's wanting to go with them, and something I don't know what it would be, but like she should have flown the ship at some point. Like, you can't put Amelia Earhart on the bridge at the helm and then not have her fly it. Like, or have like Paris get burned and he has to talk her through it and she has this moment and then she dies that way. Something should have happened.
Or a shuttle, something.
Yeah, or a shuttle or anything that you like give Amelia her like due. And that fell flat. But I will also say, like, I love that scene with her and with Janeway and Chakotay walking into the shuttle bay and no one is there.
Yeah.
And like whenever Janeway, like it is so rare that we see Janeway have a lot of emotion. And when you like, I tear up on that already. I forgot it was this episode because I think that is like one of the most powerful, like it really does drive home. I think this sets the season up well. It would have been a weird finale in one, but I do think this is a fun kickoff of season 2. So this is a comfort watch for me. Not because it's good, but because it's like reverent and funny and like we get such good. I just watched this with Matt Jennings actually last week, and you get such good Voyager shots, like scale shots of the ship, and we so rarely get that with so much of Star Trek. So, yeah.
Let's see those thumbs.
She's not sticking back making cookies. That's all I'm saying. Just bad.
Oof, that got close. I was worried.
Also,
thank you, Krista.
I just want to say, you're telling me that they didn't test land this ship at all in the shakedown cruise in Janeway's, like, you're telling me she never once, a critical element of ship functions, you never tested it?
There's probably simulations.
Okay.
Season 2, episode. While Matt treats himself to some oxygen therapy. Season 2, episode 2, initiations. Chakotay's shuttlecraft drifts into enemy territory and becomes the target of a young Kazon attempting to earn his warrior name. I'll kick this one off by saying, what happened? Spell it. Okay. I will kick this one off by saying the episode itself is not great. It's a Chakotay episode, which never lands well for me. That said, I wanted to go first on this one because I wanted to just give all of the praise that is due to Aaron Eisenberg. The timing of this means he has already been Nog, so he's doing both jobs at this point, but probably hasn't done some of the great work that he will do on DS9 yet. But I just think for being handed a very clunky script with a not very flushed out enemy that the Kazon were, Aaron just sort of knocked it out of the park in terms of like he really leans into this character and gives a Kazon, not necessarily the Kazon, but gives a Kazon a lot of character, depth, interest, intrigue. There's a lot going on there, and I really, really love that aspect of it, his presence in it. Also, I think this is the first time we get Kessa's little phaser belt later on when they're running down the rock slide. Anyway, other than that, this episode sucks. But I will turn it over to the rest of my companions for your thoughts and analyses.
Agree. We can breeze through this one unless people really want to talk about it.
There's not much to talk about. I mean, they're trying to develop the Kazon. I don't think they knew what the Kazon were at the time of developing them, so it's hard to 11th hour really root for a character. I do think Aaron Eisenberg gives a very good performance for being given kind of a chopped script, but it's not great. I mean, it's a Chakotay episode, so it's never going to get higher than a thumb sideways for me, but Yeah, it could have been worse, but
High praise. It could have been worse.
could have been worse.
Not by much.
Cuddle.
Yeah. Show me your thumbs.
As we all take a drink.
We all needed one.
Wait, I have to go sideways for Aaron. That's the only
That's
reason.
the only,
Yeah,
it's the
only
only
redeeming
quality.
thing in it.
Sideways it is. All right, folks. Season 2, episode 3, Projections. The Doctor must distinguish between reality and fantasy when the Voyager appears to have been the victim of a Kazon attack. Krista, your thoughts?
Honestly, my only thought on this one was that this was the first time that Kez actually looked as though she had found a deep conditioning keratin treatment for her hair. Her hair looked really good. And it's really the one thing that I noticed. I was like, oh, her hair. So she's fake Kez. She's got better hair. And outside of that, I think I like the Doctor is probably one of my favorite characters because he's just so unapologetically direct and sort of rude and just really doesn't have time for anybody. So I like it. But to be honest with you, some of these episodes, I like notice one or two things and then that's it. I'm not really invested in the episode. I'm just sort of watching it as a curiosity and not something that I'm kind of like, oh, this is an interesting thematic development. But I think that my expectations of this were a lot higher. I hear so much about Voyager that my expectations are a lot higher. And I think I got to bring them down.
The second Reginald Barclay walks in, those expectations have to go right out the airlock.
What I did want to mention was that what I noticed on this was they seem to be making a real point of sort of spreading out the centric episodes between all of the characters instead of just focusing on like the fan favorites of TNG.
Well, what are they going to do? Let the woman have all the attention every episode like Picard or?
Well, but I mean, we've already had in this season, we've already had 2 episodes where Kez is just some kind of very sweaty, sloppy mess of like unfulfilled many things. And it's,
we haven't even gotten to the worst one yet.
And I know it's coming because those are my episodes. But really, the only thing that I remember about this episode and the thing that kind of is sort of interesting is that every Doctor episode is going to be like, it's kind of predictable in the sense that it's going to be about like am I ever going to be a real boy? Like but he doesn't want to be a real boy, but it's like kind of how do I
starting that arc with the premise of what if he is actually, and he's just been insane the whole like, and obviously we as the audience know that that's not the case, right? But I agree. This was a good Doctor episode. To be honest, spoiler alert for the next 12 weeks. That is not something I'm going to say a lot. I love Robert Picardo. I love the Doctor as a character. I don't love a lot of Doctor-centric episodes. This is a rare one, which is super weird when you take into account the fact that my favorite thing to do when watching Pluto is to turn off a Barclay episode. And it frustrates me to no end when I turn off a Barclay episode and go over to Voyager and there's another fucking Barclay episode. But thankfully, I can always go to my good friend Deep Space Nine because I am safe from Reginald Barclay over there. But I will say this was not a terrible use of Reginald Barclay. Mm-hmm. And while I don't like him in the future or generally or the actor or whatever, this being his introduction to this series, kind of interesting, kind of fun.
See, I
That will be the end of my feelings about that.
I always felt like this would have made a better very early episode, because we immediately know it's like the stakes aren't stakes, because like we've already established that this is happening.
Oh yeah, episode 2 or 3 would be interesting.
Make this episode 2 or 3 of the series, and you're like, wait, are they fucking with us? Is this whole thing happening? Like, even for a split, to give you a little hint of doubt that you don't actually have, because you're like, this is dumb. Can we get to the part where he figures it out?
Yeah.
Anywho. Thumbs for projection?
It's like, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, we're all over the place. It's a sideways.
Sideways.
Alrighty. All right, folks.
Everyone's favorite.
Buckle up. Season 2.
Buckle up, we're hitting puberty.
Episode 4.
Okay.
Elogium. Not only is the episode terrible, but this description is going to quite possibly set every bra Krista owns on fire, because it begins. Neelix faces a difficult decision.
I can't.
When Cass prematurely enters the Ocampan reproductive cycle, and Janeway considers the consequences of intimacy among the crew. Because this is a Neelix episode, right? This is
What
about
a fucked up synopsis.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they've all been bad, but that's fucked up.
I mean, he does have an important choice to.
Was that written in the 90s?
Well, he is the morale officer.
Did Google exist? I don't know.
Not the morality officer.
Oof. That he died on the way to the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode is on par with Code of Honor for me, where I from beginning to end, I was just like, she's like everyone's fantasy slap around girl. Let's just fuck this girl up as much as possible. Let's take this actress and have her become a sweaty, she's in heat mess. She's carb boosting mashed potatoes in her room. She's literally, and it was believable. I mean, she sold it, but the whole story and the whole idea that Neelix needs to be involved in this at all, again, shoehorning a red flag predator right into a story of the intended victim. The idea that this choice needs to go to committee, like this is a ship-wide decision. Okay, she has basically no agency because she doesn't understand particularly what's happening to her, and her dad isn't there to rub her feet. The fuck is that? I slacked y'all with what the actual fuck am I watching here? What is this? How did this even get passed? And then we're gonna, and why are these? Then they're floating in spermatozoa in the middle of space, and they've got a big giant one, flesh colored, banging against the Voyager like it's a fucking hymen. I don't even understand how any of this shit in this entire episode actually passed. Like, yeah, this is a bad after school special. I expect her to be run over by a bus because she mistakenly got pregnant, but the baby died, but she survived and a lesson was learned by everyone. The quality of this is so and it's Neelix's dilemma on whether he can really.
But sweetie, what if Neelix never becomes a father? How sad would that be for Neelix? Sweetie, are you not taking into account
I mean, I
how
think I
Neelix
said this
might
last
feel?
time where I was like, Neelix is a guy who just does not understand that it is not all about him. He's like in the extreme, not all about him, narcissist. It just continues to get worse. But this is on the same lines of Shinzon, the multiple rapes of Troy in all its variations. This idea of mind fucking people so they go see their husband while he's dead on a slab. These kinds of things, they do them to the women.
Mm-hmm.
They do them to the women, and to me, it's like for me, it was like kind of the idea that it reminded me of that line in Kiss the Girls where the guy is explaining his pathology and he's like, you see something beautiful and strong and willful and intelligent and can stand on her own, and you want to break that down. And it's like, that's how I really feel like the producers of this particular series in the archive present women on this show. They want to break them down. They want to make them, Seska would be fine if it didn't devolve into this weird, I'm obsessed with Chakotay and I Picarded a baby. And now I'm with the Kazon wearing, memory foam. I cannot get behind this series yet because there are very few strong female moments where they pass the Bechdel test and they are just strong in their own right. And they're not being exploited. Their story is not being used to enhance another. Like, what is the point of Kaz if it isn't to for Neelix to walk in? I can't talk about this one anymore. This one can suck my fucking dick. I hate this one. I don't care who wrote it. I don't care who thought it was a good idea. It's a bad fucking idea. It aged like spoiled milk, and seek some therapy, titty baby. Seek some fucking therapy, whoever wrote it.
I want to say, because it came up, and it kind of clicked for something for me. I wish this had kind of gone the way of the child in TNG, where they started that like, well, she's pregnant now, and they're all sitting in the conference room like, well, what are we going to do about this? And she's like, no, you're not doing anything about this. This is my choice. Like, it would have been nice if they were like, hey, Cass, so this is what's going on. And she was like, okay, great, got it. I'm going to make this choice. Like,
there was an opportunity here for exploring this character and the Okapan and the short lifespan.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do if this is my only chance? Like,
also,
if we had centered it around her. But we didn't. We centered it around Fuck Off McGee, which I love Neelix overall.
Fuck Off McGee. It was Fuck Off McGee and his imagined opponent.
Yeah.
The
slow march of time.
This woman, she's like a pull toy. She's like that toy you give your dog, and you pull it. You love your dog, but you're pulling the toy. It's like it's insulting.
Yeah, and speaking of insulting, I don't want to be insulting, particularly to somebody who's enjoyed us a couple of different times now. But like, Fizbin, maybe don't tell women how they should react to bad portrayals of women. I don't know if you are one or not, but in the comments, like, context is everything, but this episode isn't like 80 years old. This episode is only 30 years old, and
we had Will and Grace at this point, and the gays had better treatment than Kes did. So.
Right. It's the 90s, for God's sake.
Yeah, maybe we won't define sexism for the women who are screaming about the sexism.
There is an interesting story at the core of this. Like, there is an interesting story at the core of this. Its execution is really poor because not only is it Like
Yeah.
the question of like, what do they do? The fact that they're going to be a generation ship. Like if they're going to get home, they're going to have kids, you know? And it, and there is an interesting question afoot there. And like Kes being like, oh, I want to have this child. But like the portrayal of the central conflict boils down to all women want to be mothers and all men are immature bastards. So like that's kind of the context in which these characters exist. Instead of it being like two people who are in a relationship deciding, oh, Kes can now have children. And then them dealing with the repercussions of being like, how do we have children on our ship? How do we function that way? And then it being like, maybe, you know, to bring it back to how this has to reset every week, that this was part of the weird thing they were in the middle of, which it kind of was. But it just, there's a nugget of something. It's not good, but there is like a question of that this show should deal with, that they have to, this kind of existential question they have, because they all, you know, we all know they're going to get home in 7 years, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
Theoretically. So like there is that, but it's a, yeah, it's so, watching, I was like, it's all over the place. It's very weird. I was like, what is happening in this? Like, it was hard to track just as like an episode as well.
Just being like in a feral state on top of a table, like just didn't even, why wouldn't you be under the table? And why is it the Janeway that has to go in there? And, you know, I'm all for context. But as Joanne points out, I was a full-grown adult then. I understand the context. I understand what the message was. And the message was, it was less important to examine a species that they were presenting as a weakly character, and more important to sort of undermine that character by not, like, to me, it would have been better if it had explored how truly horrifying it must have been to find yourself without, I mean, there was like one sentence, I don't have anyone to talk to. But how about we expand that out to, you know, the same length that we allowed the Doctor to extrapolate who he is, and for an hour-long show. It really became about, you know, there's one thing to say, you know, Janeway's now does have to actually consider what happens if people get pregnant. Now one of my ensigns is pregnant. Like, what actually happens in that situation? That's a valid question, because they don't know anything. They don't know what's going on, or when they're going to be home, or what's going to happen to these people. They have limited supply for everything. I mean, it's kind of an urgent situation, but it's urgent for everyone. And I feel like the urgency when it has to do with the character of Kes is always very invasive. It's a very physically and emotionally invasive urgency. The theme of it is invasive.
It also,
that is specific, and that is context, and that was deliberate.
It also misses the mark of another tremendous opportunity, which is teaching us more about the Ocampa. A single line of dialogue that one must procreate during one's first elogium to have a second elogium, so that we understand that the species is not diminishing by half with every generation, but rather, like, they don't say, they introduce their own canonical problem by saying, she says, if I don't have a baby now, I'll never have one. And it's like, well, put in the dialogue that your species is not dying off because you can each only have one child. So there's that issue, but then also the whole rubbing of the feet thing. What a great opportunity. Ignore the foot rubbing, but that she's panicking because having children is a communal act for the Ocampa, as opposed like she's lacking connection with other Ocampa. It's, you know, my father would be here for this ceremony, and my mother would be here for that ceremony. My aunts and uncles and the crown prince of whatever would come and, you know, bless the baby. Whatever.
Open the back sack.
Anywho, more on that in another season. All that. Elogium is a pile of garbage, but let's vote on it, shall we?
Yes. Last thought on it is just, I want to just re-up something Krista said. Jennifer Lean gives an excellent performance in a garbage fire of an episode.
Yeah, totally not Jen's fault. That said, we shall move on. Season 2, Episode 5, Non Sequitur. When Ensign Kim awakens on Earth in 24th century San Francisco, his records don't show his posting on the USS Voyager. Yeah,
and that's the only problem.
That's not what the episode's about. Anyway, Matt, take it away. Tell us how this timey-wimey nonsense makes any sense.
You know what, I and again, this is another one I rewatched, obviously, recently. And on rewatch, you realize that this isn't just some, like, fantasy in his head. Like, him doing this changed the timeline. Like, things, like, actually changed. And so he's living in an alternate. And so I wish they would have pushed a little harder into, like, what we see of the Federation. Like, because we're well swinging into the Dominion War at this point. Like, and obviously I know Voyager never wanted to touch a DS9 plot, and they always wanted to keep them very, like, hermetically sealed apart. But, like, what a missed opportunity to see, like, the admirals talking about the buildup along the Cardassian border, or, you know, hey, we have to come out with these, we've met this new species of these new weapons, and we need to find a way. Like, that's what the Yellowstone runabout is. We need a more militant runabout because, you know, the I think Ganges class, the Danube class, just wasn't cutting it anymore. And, like, give us a little more flavor in it. Also, the fact that the alien is obsessed with him fucking his girlfriend, like, at every time, oh, if I had a girlfriend like you back home, I'd never leave too. And I'm like, hey, we're laying it on a little thick here.
Well, this show is very good about women relationships, as we've just discussed.
Yeah, and Libby is like, Libby is better, is a more fleshed out background woman than we see in a lot of ways, because she's at least like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, can you just fucking stop, Harry? Like, can we not? And then eventually she is like, nope, okay, hold on, I am your girlfriend, I'm gonna help. Like, her as a character in the portrayal, I thought was fun. Yeah, the episodes, it's fun. It's a time travel episode. I'm gonna have a soft spot for it. It makes no sense. Like, oh, you can just throw yourself back into why wouldn't you then? We've established that there is a Department of Temporal Investigations in this timeline. Why couldn't you go to them and say, hey guys?
Have we established that yet?
Well, yeah, because they were in DS9 and they had known about Kirk and had been investigating Kirk for a while.
Not yet.
Yeah, they had.
No.
DTI
Trials and Tribulations had not happened yet.
Okay, they did not create Trials and they created DTI because of Kirk, and they had been in the background. They had mentioned that. But
sweetie, on the show, they had no idea this department.
Yeah, they hadn't appeared yet in this.
The writers had not created DTI yet. We need them to do that before they can exist.
A formal.
Well, actually,
I'll take that one. I'll take that. Anyway, I think it's a fun episode. I still think it's a fun, like, just give Harry another fucking thing to deal with episode that doesn't make sense in a lot of ways, but we got to see Yellowstone.
Of the Harry episodes, it's a okay one.
And we got another Nebula. It's always in Voyager, whenever we see, it's always a Nebula class chasing after something.
Running around on the back lot is always fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also cute that this is as a Harry Kim episode. It's an episode about him getting back to the Delta Quadrant when his whole thing is how desperate he is to get home. So it's a nice twist on that.
You just made it better.
Yeah.
It's
the first
not
time you see that as home. Yeah.
The ideas in it, the premise is interesting. And like for the handful of Harry Kim episodes, it's not bad, but like it just doesn't, it feels like they missed it. I don't know why, but all of the ingredients are all there, but then it didn't quite cook quite right. I don't know what it is about this episode. It's just something feels a little off about it, and not in a way where it's like, oh, it's not palatable. It's just a little weird. It's just a little funky in a way that I don't quite understand why. Like, maybe the script needed another pass. Someone was tired. Like, it's just, the ideas are there. I don't know. yeah,
It feels very first pass. That's what it is. It's like, okay, this is a good thing. How do we hone this in?
They didn't have a lot of time to write these. I mean, they had to write them pretty quickly. But
I agree.
I see your comment, Joanne, and I raise you. It actually would have worked if Tom and Harry had been lovers.
Yes.
My baby, where are you? I need you. I need your strength.
You know who can help me through this? Oh, Tom Paris.
That good dick.
Anyway, thumbs on non sequitur.
I still say.
Oh, Joanne, Krista, you're yelling and you're on mute.
You're muted.
Why are you muted?
Now you're mute.
All right, that was my fault. When you stepped away, there was background noise. I had to mute you. Sorry.
No, I can't believe you didn't hit the button.
Oh, that's because I'm tired.
Problematic gay alert.
No, I wish I was, but I had to cut back a little bit because of the dry mouth. Which, you know what, I'll just...
Problematic gay alert.
That joke did write itself. Krista?
I kind of like this episode.
Fuck. I don't know. What does this mean?
Hey,
I think this
the audience needs to tie break this. This is the perfect perfect time.
Joanne sideways it.
Okay. That's valid. She is a contributing member of this.
Indeed.
Wow.
All right, y'all.
And I guess sideways is the comment.
It appears to be a trend. It appears to be a trend.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why.
Krista, you're just...
Here's a contributing member to our.
I'm glad you at least understood what I was going for with that. You're the only one.
Season 2, episode 6.
She's a founding member of this board.
Am I on mute?
Go ahead and mute.
Season 2, episode 6. It's not like I wasn't in the middle of a fucking sentence that I've said 8,000 times on this podcast. Season 2, episode 6. I'm renaming it Don't Get It Twisted. A spatial distortion phenomenon occurring inside the ship changes Voyager's structural layout by twisting and compressing it. That's not actually what the episode's about. Anyway, that's a well actually in and of itself. Matt, untwist this fucking pretzel of an episode.
If this was the only time Voyager got like the cubed, it would be different. But this one does, like, I like it because at the end, I think the entire thing of them running around is fun. The like, what the hell's going on is great. Knocking Janeway out of the picture and having her like pepperoni pizza. No, that's what Tom does. But it's like, it's fun. And then at the end, when you realize like there is no stakes, I actually love that because you're like, oh, the whole point of the episode is that you're afraid of fear itself, which we haven't gotten to that one yet, but which is surprising. Haven't we? No, we haven't got that one feels like a season 1. Mainly because of the quality. But I like Twisted. I think it's fun. I think you have a bunch of people that are trying to fix a problem. No one has the high ground. No one is like, oh, I'm so smart, I can figure this out. Like, no, we have no idea what is going on. And then you find out that it's ultimately a first contact mission. And I think it's just, again, it's a little hokily done. I think most of Voyager's a lot of great ideas, not great execution. But I think this is entertaining. I like it, when the edible hits. Yeah. I am B'Elanna in that.
Can you guys remind me, is this the one where like Janeway gets some weird aphasia or something and she just like barks out words?
Oh, nah.
Apple.
And her arm does the like weird thing.
Ite Talia.
And then she yells, hey, you guys, and they all go on an adventure.
Yeah.
She goes full Nell.
She does. Epipedite.
At the fucking fantastic movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Apple.
Yeah. And that,
Hip
I-
in the pitite.
Jodie Foster is a fucking national treasure.
Oh my god. Well, back to this
also
fucking
works for
third of
most
an
of-
episode.
It works for most of the Chakotay episodes as well. Hip
Oh.
in the pitite.
Akuchimoya.
Akuchimoya. Pahuna
here's another thing,
Matata.
though. I did love the use of Sandrines. It is a fun set. I feel like it got worn out, but it was a good bit with that brothel whore. There was always the holographic brothel whore. I mean, it was fun.
I'm sorry,
Girl.
Joanne in the comments.
Pootie Tang.
Pootie. Yeah.
This
Sorry,
this
I'm a
episode
doctor.
fucking
I don't
sucked.
mop the floor.
Yes.
My hands have been trained.
This thing
If he
just
wants to play pool
was
and he
fucking
wants to make
bad.
love to me, then as far as I'm concerned, he can mop the floor.
It is. It's Jodie Foster doing a whole Appalachian thing.
But I agree with
When did this become a
on this one.
podcast about the movie Nell?
It's a,
What the fuck?
As soon as they showed this, as soon as she reclined on
Showed
it,
her
everybody-
this. Great love. Like the fuck?
everybody focus. Marmot.
What are we doing here?
School marm over here with Will.
I'm gonna
Everybody
laugh.
I want to
stay
talk about this
focused.
fucking turd of an episode. I want to talk about this hot turd. This fucking shit ass episode. Terrible.
How do you really feel?
About the same as I feel now. Bad. Fucking
So
awful.
it's an up for Will.
A bit two thumbs up. Golden thumb of the episode of the season. Like top of the list.
Shall we rate it?
Down. Bad.
It sucked.
I'm going sideways. I thought it.
I'm sure you are.
Sucked.
Shattered is a better execution of the exact same concept, but
And will
Oh,
be a
the-
rare
the-
thumbs up for me on a Chakotay episode.
yeah.
Also,
That's not I agree. I don't think that's a Chakotay episode. That's a Janeway Chakotay episode.
I would like to have seen the Alan Moraine guy show up. Alan Moraine,
Oh, a Waddy.
that would have
Season
been the episode. Play that
Here,
hopscotch.
Trevor, let me help you out here. You're trying to move forward. So I'll just-
Season 2, Episode 7, Parturition. During a shuttle mission to replenish food supplies, Neelix and Lieutenant Paris discover an embryonic pod and become caretakers of the hatching infant. I liked it better when it was called Enemy Mine. Your thoughts? I don't know. Who wants to kick this one off? Stan, you want to take this one?
Sure. I hate Neelix. Like I like Ethan Phillips.
And
I hate
Done.
Neelix. Again, he should have been a father figure, not a love interest. It's gross, even for the time, even that they are aliens. Like Kes and Tom is weird enough. It's less weird. I can suspend my disbelief enough because it's sci-fi. I see the attraction. There's a future episode coming up that does something very interesting with a potential future for them. This just wasn't it. I don't think they knew exactly what to do with Neelix because he was all over the place these first couple of seasons. And you have these two alien cultures that you can explore, and you just focus on the jealousy. It's just a wasted opportunity. Even exploring jealousy, there's a way to do that, and they do a little bit in other episodes better, but this one was just so weird. And I will give them a tiny bit of credit for at least having a bit of a through line. Like Neelix was consistently jealous of Tom, but Interestingly, I think Tom was the only one who had carryover in a lot of ways. His brashness, whatever. Again, my conspiracy theory is they had an escape hatch planned if a woman captain didn't work out, to make the show more about Tom Paris and potentially Chakotay. This episode is just rough. Like there are nuggets of good, interesting, like rivals to friends, like having a care for this not the mama dinosaur looking thing. Like there's interesting stuff here. It's quintessential Voyager, early Voyager. There's interesting stuff here, and the execution is wonky as hell. Those are my thoughts.
My thing with it, I watched this and it gives very like TGIF episodes, like, oh, these two people don't get along, let's make them do a project together and figure out other. But why would you send the pilot of the ship to pilot a shuttle in a dangerous situation to get food? I would assume that the resource of the pilot is more important than the food, kind of, at the end of the day, because Tom pilots the ship. So it's like, why would you send him? He apparently pilots the ship.
He flies the ship.
Mm-hmm. The logic of that never makes any sense. I understand in the idea of the show, but God, Neelix sucks. Like, it would be interesting if Tom was just an asshole and was hitting on Kes, and that was the reason they didn't get along, is because like Tom was clearly like scamming on Neelix's girl, and he's just like, you're creepy and weird, and I'm hitting on your girlfriend. Like, you know, it's just weird. I don't know. For some reason, the logic of like, why would you send the person who is the vital resource that is the man that can fly the ship the best to go take this old pedo. Go take Epstein to his island. Like, why would you do this?
And Voyager would be the great series to have these other characters, or like, because every Trek does this, right? Like, why is the first office? Why are all of these heads of departments doing the away missions? Right. This is the first series where they could be like, no, you are a senior officer, our chief helm. We need our best pilot to survive. You're not going to do these risky things. We have shuttle pilots for that.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
production-wise as well.
You know, I mean, if Voyager was actually happening, that would make sense. But like, it's a TV show where this is the cast, so I don't know. Just that logic ruined it for me. It's just fucking, just stupid. It's just a dumb episode. Like, we have to catch this egg. Okay. I don't know. The season 2 is like my least favorite season of Voyager. Like, this is like, I don't think there's very many episodes that I'm like, oh, cool. Like, even with TNG, like season 2 had like Measure of a Man and like the Borg episode, and like it had some redeeming. This one, I'm like, where are we at with this girl?
But I think they're trying to like find their way into addressing what we talked about earlier. Is like, how do you know you're 75 trillion years away from where you came from? These are the only people presumably that you can enjoy chaos and procreate. So like, they are sort of forcing these relationships in some ways very obviously, in some ways pretty subtly, but none of them are earned. No. Like the Neelix Kes isn't earned. Paris Kes isn't earned. B'Elanna suddenly, having deep-seated desire for Chakotay. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate that these are our choices, right? I'm on a ship. And you fucking people are choices. I mean,
it's like Will said last week, like, we're not having babies with these uggos. Gross.
Yeah. I don't want people on the ship.
Or my alternative choices are like crane face person and Kazon, and it's like, okay, or the player to be named later that's coming up. Suspiria's henchman.
There
Sort of
was-
like a dollar store Billy Bob Thornton cousin.
There were some hot Kazon. Anyway,
Yeah.
thoughts on, or thumbs, excuse me, on parturition.
I can't stand Neelix. Hated it.
Krista, I think the only thing that makes me happier than when you yell about Neelix is when you mumble under your breath about him.
Because I'm afraid you're gonna mute me again.
I'm just glad that this series didn't decide to do an episode where Neelix and Barkley are in something together, because I'm pretty sure it would have collapsed the whole franchise. It would have just sucked in like a black
The universe. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have created like some type of fissure or something. I don't know.
Fissure. Season 2, episode 8.
Hang on, Matt wants to derail us so he can say goodbye. Oh. We're past your deadline.
I wasn't gonna say good. I wasn't gonna try to derail it. I was just gonna say before we get to persistence of vision.
Yes.
I'm going to see myself out. I love you all. I must run.
Run safely.
Everyone in the chat and
don't carry scissors.
Yeah, and the rest of them are kind of just for me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I love you all. Bye.
Toodles.
Bye.
Season 2, episode 8, Persistence of Vision. While preparing to face the Bothan alien species, the crew encounters an odd psionic field, causing their deepest thoughts to become reality. Looking at you, Carolyn Seymour. Krista.
I like Carolyn Seymour.
Same.
Cheekbones for days.
Mm.
But again, we start out with this weird, like, okay, I think, can we at least agree that there is a lot of eye acting carrying a lot of the scenes in all of these episodes, where it's like they're meant to be communicating, but it's just, or they're standing so close that they could be sharing the same uniform, all of these kinds of things. And it's very disappointing to me to have Janeway, be Janeway, and then she gets on this holodeck and she becomes this sort of, I'm getting the vapors, wide-eyed, whatever, with, ugly Lord of the Castle. And I'm going to say that I think that I think this episode is a lot like that TNG episode where their heads get invaded and Beverly goes to see her dead husband. And I think that was done a little bit better. Like this seemed to be pretty confusing. And again, it was sort of like, well, who could we use to interpret things that can't be seen? Oh, Kez, we'll have Kez do it, because suddenly she's telepathic, or suddenly she has ghosts running. It's like those haunting movies. No, don't go into the light. It was sort of just silly. And the idea that the thing that everybody is thinking is, of course, the worst thing that you can possibly think, right? Mark says you want somebody else, and Paris's dad says, I've got no confidence in you, and all of that. It was just kind of a downer of an episode where your worst internal dialogue that may or may not be true is brought out, and you're forced to face it. But it seemed kind of shallow, and I didn't quite understand why it had to begin with Jane Eyre. I didn't really understand, like, why are we using that? Why couldn't they just wake up from a bad dream or whatever? Like, why does it have to have this whole thing that is so irritating to me? Because she's so, I don't know, she smiles too much or something.
My sister isn't well.
That little kid.
He is
Come on.
so good. I mean, he's
So good.
He is definitely a highlight. But again, it's this weird. It is the weird thing that they, and I wish Joanne was here because she could probably enunciate it much better than me right now. But it is this weird place that they put female characters where they're kind of they're kind in this one they're victimized, but it's like they're victimized by their own choice. It's just weirdness where that doesn't seem to be the case with at least with Paris, because it does seem like his dad was a dick. It does seem like he was just sort of reiterating something that his father may have alluded to, but like Janeway's thoughts are, I'm actually attracted to Chakotay or this holographic whatever he is. And so I'm going to feel guilty about it. And somehow she's supposed to be punished for this. Like, this is a bad thing. I'm just saying, Anais Nin, find the erotic holodeck. Find that one.
Oh, just you wait and see. Hold on to that thought, because in a couple weeks you'll have more to say. I do enjoy. This is the iteration of Admiral Paris that's so awful ends up not being the actor that plays Admiral Paris later.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. So I just like to call this person not Tom's dad. But I agree with your. I think the broader issue with women in 90s Trek is that often their solutions are always passive. There's not enough active voice or active action in solving a lot of problems. Doesn't mean there aren't examples, so please don't go off on, yes, the second episode of Voyager involves a great deal of the brain trust that is B'Elanna merging with the brilliance of Janeway. That's a lot of great problem solving and passing the Bechdel test and so forth. But there just seems to be a lot of, we have to get out of this. We should rely on someone with a very soft skill of reading people's mind. Like, it's never the, oh, well, she just went and kicked somebody's ass like Kira would. Even Kira softens throughout DS9. You could argue with Kira that there's a symbolism of the character sort of laying down some shields while the uniform gets skimpier and the heels get taller. But it still feels very, if we soften her, we also have to soften her fortitude. I don't know. It's a weird thing that happens when old 90s men write for women. But this episode is sort of fraught with it. Any other thoughts on this before we
just one about my sister isn't well.
Yeah.
/ Picard's Dickens child / Changeling in Picard season 3. Yes.
Push it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
He grew up.
Problematic gay alert.
I'd actually like to see what happens when it grows up.
Problematic gay alert.
I love when Krista judges us with silence.
I'm not judging. I can't speak to it. I don't. He's wearing tighty whities. It was blurry.
Thumbs for persistence of vision.
Oh, we'll go. Let's do unanimous. Woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I saw this episode once and I've skipped it ever since. On this rewatch, I skipped it. I was like, I'm not watching this shit again. Just immediate skip.
All love to Carolyn Seymour, but no.
Yeah, this was just weird.
Well, it was just wasted. Why have her and then have her for a total of 3 minutes?
Mrs. Davenport.
Speaking of waste, season 2, episode 9. Spoiler alert. Mr. Rourke's assistant. Kidding. It's called Tattoo. An away team's encounter with hostile natives. Really? Okay. Reminds Chakotay of when he disappointed his father as a child by not embracing his cultural traditions.
Okay.
Just don't. There's
yeah. There is one thing about this episode that I think is good, and that is that indigenous native culture endures, spreads out across the galaxy. If they had leaned in on that, and like how incredible it is that you've made it out here, that I have found you, that our cultural beliefs are coming true in a way, like this could have been a very profound episode for Chakotay. And then reality sets in, and you remember that Paramount allowed for a fraud who was known to be a fraud at the time. He had already been outed as not indigenous, not native, not aware in any way of various tribes and cultures in the way that he projected himself to be. On top of which, not just choosing a tribe to make Chakotay, and instead being like, oh, you know what would be the progressive choice? It's just a conglomeration of tribes, and just to make shit up as if this were an alien culture on another planet, which we've already discussed tonight, they don't even do. They don't even bother with. So the opportunity that is the character of Chakotay, like take Robert Beltran, who's a complete asshole, out of it. Like take Beltran out of it for a second. The opportunity that is the character of Chakotay is such a bummer, on top of just being an outright insult to indigenous peoples across these two continents. But that they endure into the 24th century, I think is worthy of praise, regardless of the rest of the context of Chakotay and Voyager and
the dumpster fire that it yes.
Yeah.
I'll say the only thing that sticks with me for this episode is the bird plucking out Neelix's eye, and it still gives me nightmares. That's terrifying. That's almost, no, it's not worse than everything else they do in this episode.
Also, why didn't we see his half naked body? Like they gave us like upper chest, like
I don't know what's in his contract.
Give me the female gaze, damn it.
I don't know what's in his contract.
A Kuchi Moya.
I desperately tried to watch this. I tried. I did. And once they started talking in lingo and just vowels, I was like, yeah.
No, Joanne, you're not wrong. He is handsome, but then he speaks,
or blocks you on Twitter.
Not
that I have an experience in that.
I don't even think he's handsome. I mean, I don't think he's handsome in the show. He might be handsome now, more of a silver fox kind of.
His salt and pepper in the pilot looked great. It was weird that they made it like jet black for half of the show.
Yeah.
Any other?
No.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Tattoo before we're just going to thumb it down? Okay, sweet.
Thumb it down. Yeah.
Just thumb it.
Swing and a miss, Divas.
Thumb that bitch.
Just thumb that bitch.
Season 2, episode 10. Speaking of thumbs, Cold Fire. The crew encounter new hope of returning home. Spoiler alert, they don't make it. When Okampa colonists lead them to a mysterious female entity who may have the ability to help them. Krista, I would love it if you would discuss this.
Listen, when this entity was named Suspiria, I was thinking, oh, we're gonna have this is gonna be a dance number, there's gonna be blood, it's gonna be like just psychologically weird. And no, it wasn't. It was just another episode where another male character, guest star, what have you, basically teaches Kes something about herself, and it's almost orgasmically feral and destructive, and it's I don't really understand. I don't really understand if this Suspiria person or the entity was the actual mate. The little girl was pretty good with the accusations, and Janeway going, no. You know what's funny about Janeway? Here's the thing:
shooting a little girl. That was hilarious.
This is what's great. She wasn't taking any shit from the little girl, but here's the thing did you know, like, the more I closed my eyes during some of these episodes and almost took a nap, I would hear the change of her voice. So sometimes she would talk like this. She would do the talk. But then other times she would do this. Like, she does like this weird, this is a very important moment, so I'm going to whisper with force.
That's its power.
That's its power.
And its flaw.
And its flaw.
Again, I'm just saying, this is
voice acting.
This huzzah. This is another one where it just doesn't. I don't understand the choices. And again, Kes is just a very convenient, whipping dog. I mean,
the creepiness with the men around her, like, I like that actor, and I think he performed well. I think he's in Enterprise as well, and does a great job. But making that character a woman, I think, would have alleviated that a little bit and made it more interesting.
Yeah,
like have a female, a woman mentor from her species. That to me would have made it even more tempting. And I also just, like, I will say for this episode, I like this episode. I like that my thing with Kes, with her mental abilities, is they keep running into the same problem that they had with Troy, which is a lack of creativity, or at least like guardrails or boundaries. Like, someone for Next Generation and someone for Voyager, when they develop these characters, should have just said, like, I'll give J. Michael Straczynski a shout out here. Like, he's the kind of writer who would have done this if he created a telepathic character. In fact, he did. Like, there was a show Bible that would say, here is what they can and cannot do, so that he had a reminder when he wrote episodes, but also other writers, the few of them that there were, had parameters to write around, instead of somebody being like, oh, maybe she can do this week.
Well, but they made her like a receiver. They made her a transistor radio at this point, where she just receives this information, receives this capability, and then it's stripped once the entity escapes. And so it's kind of like, but I do agree with Norman that the melting face, the fire face of
flames,
his
flames
place
on the side of his face.
There's a place
heaving breaths.
I thought that was pretty interesting, but I think they also made it pretty clear that in the beginning that she did not have this capacity, and then all of a sudden she has this capacity, and it's like, ooh, I'm so excited about these plants that I nurtured and then I killed. I'm so excited about the ability to kill them. It just doesn't. It makes no sense. It makes, like, power corrupts. What's your point? Here.
Yeah,
it's going away.
They breeze through it a lot. But I will also say that if you want to make the other caretaker appear scary and menacing, there is no better choice than a small white girl.
She's fucking terrifying.
She was horrible.
All she needed to say was, they're back. And,
but also serves a little cunt.
A little bit. She's sassy. I have two things to say about this episode, and neither one is actually about this episode. The first is to piggyback off of what Stan was saying about J. Michael Straczynski and like establishing powers. He not only defined it, he fucking within the universe, telepaths had a rating. So like if somebody was a P5, they couldn't do certain things, but they could do other things. Like there was a fucking flowchart to how their powers worked, which was brilliant in order to keep the writing consistent. And the stories from not being frustrating and annoying like this one. The other thing is with respect to actor Gary Graham. I don't remember how old I was. I was probably a preteen when Alien Nation, the series, was out. Because it was like late 80s. I was obsessed with that show. I loved that show. I loved Detective Matt Sykes. I loved everything about that series. Didn't last very long, but it was wonderful. I ran into Gary Graham at STLV. I think it was 2 years ago, right before his passing. Maybe it was 3 years ago. Forget, like whichever year it was. I'm a little fuzzy because of fuzzy things. But moral of the story, he passed away shortly after STLV, the year that I bumped into him, and I saw him at the bar, and I had that urge to like just go tell him that I thought he was cool and that I was a big fan, and I did. And he was the drunken mess that you would want him to be, because he had been kicking back a lot of scotch that people just kept buying him, which was delightful and one of the more fun things about STLV. And then passed away a couple months later, and it was one of those like, had I not run up and just had my quick like, hi, I feel like a 12-year-old right now, even though I'm 107. Moment, I wouldn't have had it. So that's just a lesson for everybody, that if you like have an opportunity to say hi to someone who you've admired, just take it. It doesn't matter if they're a drunken mess like Gary was, but it was like so apropos of his character and just sort of delightful. So anyway, I wanted to throw that out there just as a fun lesson for all of our listeners and watchers. That's it. Anyway, Cold Fire, what did we think? Show me your thumbs.
It's a thigh.
It's a thigh wave. Mostly for that sassy little girl. Season 2, episode 11, Maneuvers. Chakotay feels responsible after Seska masterminds a successful raid on the Voyager and gives the Kazon vital Federation technology.
After Seska masturbates.
She masturbated a successful raid on the Voyager. Stop calling it the Voyager. It's just the Voyager. Anyway.
DNA.
It's the Voyager.
It's a boy. The rabbit died. I don't understand can I just say I don't understand their hair? I don't get it.
I don't think it's meant to be understood.
Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be understood, honestly.
Memory foam. It looks like Spanish moss. It looks
the moss
like
is
cauliflower.
Pretty.
It looks like sponges.
Mm.
Like I don't.
Very big in wall painting in the 90s. Sponges.
I don't understand their anger issue. I don't know why is everybody in the Delta Quadrant a fucking aggressive prick? What the fuck is wrong with everybody in the Delta Quadrant? What's wrong with you? Can't you just plant a garden? Can't you just admire a cloud?
Rick Berman's the problem. We can all agree.
Sure.
What's the name of this one again?
Maneuvers.
This one, it blends in with all other Kazon episodes. Like,
yeah,
again, like we've been saying about other aspects of the show. There are nuggets of good ideas here. Like Nog was really good in that episode, but like didn't really help the overall Kazon-ness. There are a couple of more Kazon episodes coming up because somehow they don't have control of their space, but somehow they are spread out all over the fucking place. Yeah. And they're like chasing down the Voyager. This one just blends in with all of the others. But one thing about this episode that I like, the through line of Voyager gets lost a lot. Other than we are traveling home, it gets reset all the time. But the Seska of it all and the spy on the ship and why is Tom being a dick? Like those little nuggets throughout season 1 and 2, I give them credit for, like being more serialized than others, but
we had to drop a Cardassian in and put her in charge in order to make the Kazon interesting. It has a
Exactly.
which is suspect.
It's
I
not
mean,
only
But at least it was a
suspect.
woman.
It's
Yeah.
not only suspect. It's even more problematic when you consider what their initial allegory was when they conceived of the Kazon. It's just
Oh,
problems on top of problems on top of problems, and it just doesn't. The problem
Let's
is
put another speciest.
And then she like it just stomps on in there like Alexis
Mhm.
Carrington, Colby Dexter, and
She wishes.
I fucking love
now
Seska.
she's
You cannot.
pregnant. And it's
I love
like,
Seska.
I love
Yeah.
the character, but it's like I wish it would have been better if she was on Voyager and then said, "Oh, P.S. I'm pregnant,"
Mm.
and been on the ship, like,
Or had been paired up with their much more successful villain, the Vidians,
Right.
well,
instead
and
of
then
pairing her up with the Kazon.
and then
Seska would have.
and then with Janeway being like, excuse me, but you've sort of compromised me with the crew here. You completely disregarded an order, and Chakotay is, well, she was my foot buddy, so I has to go and handle.
She made me mushroom soup. I had to.
I was mesmerized by her
I
vajayjay.
was mesmerized by her breasties and her mushrooms, and has to go take care of business, and then he doesn't take care of business, and then she ends up pregnant. So he did take care of some business, and then but like, here's the difference. The difference between Janeway like saying, "Hey, this was not cool. I'm very disappointed," and telling B'Elanna that she was really disappointed. That was two different. Like the B'Elanna one was actually believable, and Tuvok, and kind of going, I am very disappointed in both of you. This one is kind of like, well, I'm disappointed, but I'm actually more shocked. And now this bitch, and somehow we're surprised, and nobody's surprised, and him just thinking like, well, this is my thing and I'm gonna handle it. It's like, dude, it's a whole fucking ship.
There was the big misogyny stamp came down and landed on this one. Thoughts on maneuvers? Thumbs, I mean.
I would give it a side for Seska, but she looked worse too. It
was rough.
She looked better in the first season.
Season 2, episode 12, Resistance. Janeway is forced to rely on her own devices when Torres and Tuvok are captured by the Makra during an away mission searching for Tellurium.
Prostitution whore!
William, would you like to attempt to assess this episode?
And the hair.
No, this one was something else. Like some of these episodes, I'm like, what was happening? Like, was there a carbon monoxide leak in the writer's room? Like, what happened? Like this one, like I'm literally like I was hoping we would talk about Seska more because I was literally trying to read about the episode because I literally do not remember it. All I remember is I have the feeling of being like, oh God, I'm so bored. Like the middle of this season, I'm like so bored of it. But
theater icon Joel Grey guest stars in the future of Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah,
it was a weird.
I mean,
episode.
I like
all the noises. Like,
yeah,
where's my hat?
It needed another pass.
Yeah.
Like there was some interesting stuff in this episode. Kate Mulgrew acts her whole pussy out, obviously.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Her comforting him at the end with "I'm safe, I forgive you," like taking on the persona of his daughter to like let him die in peace. Like that got me, that moment. But overall, I was just like, this is really kind of boring.
Yeah.
I like the we could go over here. It's private. And also running around these tunnels in heels. That
Letting
probably
her be
is
sexy
my
was
favorite
nice.
thing. In what is considered thank you, Trev. Yep. With
When
the
I do
hair.
this, I'm sexier.
I mean, I almost want to do my hair like this. I want to take all of it onto
Mhm.
one side, so it makes that
Mhm.
sort of weird.
Well, that's only when you're sexy, Krista. When you're everyday action,
When
Krista,
I'm
you
everyday-
can't do that.
When I need to cut in line at the Publix,
You know what they should have done? They should have made. I'm leaning
Kill the
into
little girl?
resistance. That always, but they should have done like Les Mis in the Delta Quadrant. Like that could have made this. Like make him not Javert. Who did Valjean?
Valjean.
Make the dad Valjean.
But aren't they busy doing an arc of Les Mis on DS9 right now?
Probably.
Doesn't this sort of coincide with Michael Eddington being the anyway?
Yeah.
Oy.
But the Valjean was the name of Chakotay's ship.
Ah, I see what you did there. Just for that, I might give it more than a thumbs down.
One day more.
Thumbs for Resistance. Oh, look at that. We are as one. My cursor went to down for some reason, and then I was like, no, that's not what everyone said. Last but not least, y'all, season 2, episode 3, Prototype. Near extinct humanoid robots kidnap Torres and threaten to destroy the ship unless she helps build a prototype for construction of new units.
New unit. Kirk unit.
I'm going to start off by saying this episode is awful and I fucking love it.
I love this one too.
There's something so I said this in the pre-show. This one has so much original Buck Rogers 1975 energy to it. The ridiculous,
not the boar worms.
The ridiculous
not
masks
the boar worms
that the robots are wearing. It's a lot. But like it's a cute story, and I love the weird ass robot voice coming. When they're talking to B'Elanna, and like it's just all that said, it's a good episode for the character of B'Elanna. I'm not going to say it's a good B'Elanna episode. I'm going to say it's a good episode for the character of B'Elanna, where she's so far been this very reluctant but still brilliant engineer. She's actually like, I wouldn't tell her this in season 2, but she's starting to act like a Starfleet officer. And it's kind of fun to watch because it's Star Trek's way of saying, look, sometimes Starfleet does the right thing. And here's what happens when you do the wrong thing. Like it's still a meh episode, but I love it for the 70s sci-fi nostalgia of it all and for the B'Elanna growth of it. So for that, it's going to get probably my only thumbs up of, well, no, I gave the first episode. Anyway, it's going to get a thumbs up from me, but I'd love to hear what you guys think before we round out the evening.
I love the Kalon, and I think they're great.
The Kalon.
And the Orville is not at all a ripoff, and I love it. I legitimately love the Orville, but like, come on, these are the Kalon.
It's the same.
This is where the Kalon came from.
The Orville's just a bunch of Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah. This episode gives me big Doctor Who vibes. Like this episode, this felt like a Doctor Who episode. Like kind of in the fun way. It's like almost campy. Like it's a little hokey, but yeah, this one was better. Yeah, this one was kind of silly. Like it like verges on camp. Like there's some interesting stuff happening, but it's like it's weirdly silly.
It's fun. You got to see the inside of the robot, and for some reason, a robot needs to wear a sweater. They reminded me
Get cold.
Is it the original Battlestar Galactica?
The Cylons.
And the light things went like this. That was just it with they sort of reminded me of that.
I like their pyramid, their Goa'uld mothership style ships, kind of.
Yes, that was terrifying and also ridiculous all at the same time.
I also liked the Prime Directive argument. it is a violation because you are making something an ability that is not an innate ability, which is an interesting. That's an interesting argument. So, and it does have. I get what you're saying, Trev. It does have like the signature sort of, like, just silliness of it, like almost like amateurish curiosity.
It's silly, but there's like a good lesson in it too. Yeah, it's silly, but there's a good lesson in it too.
Well, it's
so
like the original Lost in Space.
Yes.
With the
danger. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't. The fun was that it was silly.
Yes. All right. Show me your thumbs for Prototype.
I'll give you a thumbs up.
I mean, yeah, it's a thumbs up.
I won. Okay. I mean, it's a thumbs up for that episode.
Pew, pew, pew.
Also, have Kez's ears always looked like
yes.
Oh God.
oddly vaginal? Because
no, that's not where I thought you were going, and I regret jumping on
Okay,
it.
so next week I need you
Be sure to like and subscribe. We are at Salon Trek everywhere.
Never talk about your vagina.
Chris, go ahead.
You know what's so funny is that you say if anybody says like ovaries, vagina, schmeg, anything like that,
he runs for the corner.
Lose your shit. Breasts, it's
breasts,
pubic hair, all of that.
Not the boar worms.
It's like
no, I'm saying if you can get a screenshot, I don't know how to do that stuff, but if you can get a screenshot of Kez in Cold Case or whatever the fuck that episode is called.
Cold Fire.
This episode of Cold Case with Kez.
If you can get a picture, I'm telling you.
I will get you that screenshot, and I will put her face on a Pez dispenser, which will be called a Kez dispenser in honor of the way you pronounce her name.
Krista went to vagina. I went to carnival dessert. It looks sort of.
Why can't it be both?
The Viennetta.
Yeah.
Who says vagina is a carnival
decadent
dessert?
ice cream.
It does look ridiculous.
The sauce.
Wait, what was that? That was called Viennetta, right? Like, Will, didn't you buy one of those? Yeah.
I did, as a child.
Why are you gonna call him out?
I was a fat kid.
Because I never got one.
Oh, I lived. That was the best, like, $8 I ever spent. I ate it in the car on the way home. I couldn't wait. It was crazy.
You didn't even get your pie.
It's mostly like wafers and cream and like whipped cream, isn't it?
It's like ice cream. It's like but it's like. But the thing was, it wasn't very big. It's not like a big thing. It must have only been about this big. It wasn't very big, and I was just like, "Girl, I ate it in the van on the way home." Little fat ass. It was great.
Be sure to like and subscribe at Salon Trek in all of the podcast places.
Or more dessert.
Trevor, do you need me to vamp a little bit more? And then in that case, I would like to ask you to do the thing that we saw for the first time this season and land the ship.
For part 1 of season 2, we gave 1 thumbs up, 6 thumbs sideways, and 6 thumbs downs. So, yeah.
It can only go up from here.
First half of season 2
is Star Trek Voyager.
Still on the struggle bus. There were 4 problematic gay alerts. There was 1 Ken well actually. There was 1 Ken dad joke in the pre-show. You're welcome, Matt. Matt stomped on a well-established bit 3 times. Stan made it better once, and Will landed the ship twice. I gave 69,000 bonus points to Krista for introducing the Voyager crew to OnlyFans. I gave 500 additional bonus points to Krista for admiring the finer points of Ocampan cosmetology. I gave 1,000 bonus points to Matt for not thinking hard. I gave Matt an additional 50 bonus points for probably thinking wild hard. I gave 30,000 bonus points to Joanne in the comments for twaining. I gave 1 million bonus points to Will for hating the movie Nell. I gave Will an additional 25 bonus points for tracking noxious chemical leaks at Paramount HQ. I gave all of Harry's bonus points to Libby because that bitch doesn't even have a job. I gave 10 bonus points to Kess's feet for taking care of themselves. I gave 100 bonus points to Carolyn Seymour for being fierce, but I gave Carolyn Seymour's cheekbones an additional 100 bonus points for being fiercer. I gave 1 billion bonus points to the actress Jennifer Lean for acting her whole ass off with material that was beneath her. And last but not least, I gave 37 bonus points to Amelia Earhart for solving her own mystery better than this episode did.
We can land the ship. And
And
before we do that, join us next week when we cover the second half of the second season of Star Trek Voyager. There are some bangers next week. Truly, honestly, really good episodes, really thoughtful episodes. I'm excited to talk about them. And the infamous Tuvix will be discussed next week. And for those $5 patrons over at patreon.com
Or $9.
Salon Trek for $5 or more, you can get our commentary on Tuvix. And for a taste of that, I cannot play it here because the show is in the background and YouTube will freak out. But for a little taste of it, follow us on social media. We posted about it today. A very important discussion about what happened when they melded to one particular thing. And with that, join us next week. Salon Trek everywhere. Join our Patreon. We love you. See you next week. Live long and prosper. Janeway did nothing wrong. Kill him. He's
All hands abandon ship. Proceed to the nearest evacuation zone immediately.